I get the challenge of settling you down. For those of you who don't know me, I am at my quietest at this point, so if you don't settle down, I stand next to you and reach full volume. But thank you all very much for being here for what is a very auspicious occasion for us. It's my pleasure to introduce the first of three key speakers to give you some critical information. Honorable G. Frederick Robinson, the Mayor of the City of Bowie.
I brought the chief with me in case something
There you go. Well, welcome everybody. We'll welcome you to another bright, sunny day in Bowie. But then again, every day is a bright, sunny day in Bowie. Mr. County Executive, we are very pleased to have you here. We're pleased to have your participation in this project and your willingness to work with us to get this thing done. Your presence today is noted and appreciated. Thank you and your staff.
Thank you.
Mr. Brian Berman and his dad, Dennis Berman, are here, the owners and staff of Berman Enterprises. Thank you for your courage and your investment in this property and your willingness to engage with the city to get this thing done and move an eyesore into something really positive. Move this whole site back into the thriving, prosperous business center in the business core of our city. Thank you very much. To our new friends at Harris Teeter, you are most welcome here. I can assure you that future Harris Teeter staff will look back on this day and say, what a marvelous decision this was back in 2015. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your investment in Bowie. I have some members of the Bowie City Council I want to introduce. Mayor Pro Tem Isaac Trout. Councilman Jimmy Marcos. Councilman Emily Gardner. Councilman Dennis Brady. Before Wolfrey, is he here yet? Okay. All right, thank you guys for sticking with this project. And I want to thank you publicly for having the courage to take that step outside the box, take an unusual approach to an event. Your courage, your thoughtfulness, and your willingness to embrace the new approaches to old problems reflects well on you and it reflects well on the city that we all serve. Thank you very much. You guys have done an incredible job. City staff, all the hours, all the sweat, all the research, all the letters, all the meetings, all the phone calls, all the hand-holding, and all the commitment that moved this idea to an action is reflective of your professionalism and your service to the community. David Deutsch and your staff here, congratulations on getting. We have a couple of other special guests here. One I'm going to introduce right here, who used to sit next to me on the City Council, who is now giving us guidance from the County Council, the Honorable Todd Turner. To this point, and his predecessor, Ingrid Turner from the County Council. We have with us Yvonne Kinney, who's representing Delegate Holmes, who is visibly attending to state business in Annapolis. There's a couple of public safety people here I just want to recognize, and I'm going to tell you why. Fire Chief Mark Bashore and the City Police Chief. I want to thank the Bermans for making this place available to them during this construction phase to practice public safety events. If you want to later, they have some funny smoke over in that other building. I guarantee you it is the most disorienting experience you will have short of working with the City Council. This site began in the early 1960s. It was home to a movie theater, a department store, a bank, an Anchor grocery store, and some great local retailers, and one very large green turtle. Sadly, as the time went by, property ownership changed hands several times, and challenging economic times visited the once thriving Bowie marketplace, causing a descent into what now can best charitably be described as an eyesore. Over the past decade or so, the City Council has engaged in a number of efforts to work with site owners, to reach out to potential tenants, and to assist in any way possible to reverse the trends limiting this site and returning it back to its glorious place in the city. In 2011, the City Council established an economic incentive fund to cultivate and retain business in the city. In establishing that fund, the council recognized that sometimes Before we can be successful in cultivating new business and development, we must first be a catalyst for development. Once again, the council had the courage and the commitment to move forward, and for that, again, I thank you publicly. In 2013, Berman Enterprises purchased the property as a potential development, and they reached out to the city to explore common interest in moving the project forward. Perhaps it was a bit of a shock to both the owners and the city council when the city met with a development group that actively sought out our input and opinion. The owner met with a city that was open and anxious to work with them on a common goal. We look to work together and make things happy. And thank you very much for your commitment and your interest in working with us. Once it became apparent that Harris Teeter selected the site as their entrance into our region, the next step arrived. Time for the owners and the cities to come together to ensure that the project moved forward. It was obvious the city's role would be expanded if the property was to be successful. So after a lot of research, some serious debate, some cautious moves to a new approach, the City Council, for the first time in our history, considered and approved a financial commitment to this project. That commitment, which exceeds $1 million, pushed this project across the line, and that's why we are here today. I don't know if we're going to be seated on the bride's side or the groom's side, but we couldn't be less proud than to be here today. Thank you. We want to congratulate Berman Enterprise. We welcome Harris Teeter. We want to thank our corporate and government partners for bringing us to this next phase. On behalf of the entire City Council, I'm pleased to thank all of you that had a part in getting us to this day and commit to you that we will be a reliable partner in this process. Thanks to everybody that attends today. We look forward to assembling today, again, on Demolition Day, and we look forward to a lot of ribbon cuttings to make this place an exciting part of the business for the city. Thank you all very much. Now it is my sincere pleasure and my personal honor to introduce to you a great friend of mine, a person who's walked with us on occasion, had some minor disagreements with us on occasion,
Only minor.
but has been a good friend of ours and a good friend of Prince George's. His man that I sincerely believe has helped turn around the image of Prince George's, who has done a great to make us proud and is moving this county forward. And I'm pleased to have the opportunity to introduce him to you, the Honorable County Executive.
Mayor Robinson, I want to thank you and the county council for your vision, not just for the project here today, but throughout, making Bowie our largest city, and just making my job a lot easier. I want to thank the Bermans for certainly not just this project, but throughout Prince George's County and your commitment. So let's give the Bermans a round of applause. We have many partners from the county that have worked with you on this. I see Gwen McCall at EDC. If we can give her a round of applause. I think Shelley Gross Wade is back here. If we can give Shelley a round of applause too. But it's so great working with the city of Bowie and Mayor Robinson, and the reason is that he makes my job a lot easier. One, because he's got a great staff. They have a tremendous, sophisticated, knowledgeable staff that get things done. Can we give them a round of applause? Because they are so good, I get to go back to the 5th floor and meet some happy people, like David Iannucci, who's our assistant. Linda Wilson, my chief of staff. Mark Bayshore, our fire chief.
Police chief.
The police chief.
Superintendent of schools.
Superintendent of school. So you see where we're going. All of the important people really, really, really live in Bowie. I'm not that important. I don't live in Bowie. But as the mayor will remind me on occasion, my youngest child, who I love very much, who is very bright, started her education at Heather Hills in Bowie. But I really just came here to say thank you. I mean, we have, and David knows this, David Iannucci knows this, that I had been asking for a Harris Teeter to come to Prince George's County. And in the very beginning, Mayor, this is a true story. Very beginning, when we first went to Vegas, Gwen knows this, we were told it probably would never happen. They would not come to Prince George's County. And the reason was not because they just didn't like Prince George's County, it's because of the reputation that was going on in the county at the time. And I was, of course, mad and offended. But then we had to take stock of what we were doing as a county to send out the signal, much like, and we took a page out of Bowie. Much like Bowie's incentive fund, we and Councilmember Turner both know that we put together our own incentive fund like Bowie did. But it's because of the work that I wouldn't have guessed it would take, we would have done it in this short period of time. But they started to look at the county, and they looked at the place that was attractive in and of itself, and that was this city and working with the people here. And so because of that, we get to have this development here in Bowie, which is going to be great for all of Prince George's County. Thank you very much.
It's now your chance to hear from the man who's got to make the dream into the reality, Mr. Brian Berman.
Good morning, Mayor Robinson, County Executive Baker, members of the County Council, Todd Turner, Ingrid Turner, members of the City Bowie Council, Chief Neske, Fire Chief Pashore, members of the EDC, members of the community and the press, and my dad. This has really been a journey fraught with obstacles, and we really now find ourselves, thank God, at an incredible and exciting turning point. To provide a little bit of background, Berman Enterprises has been investing in Prince George's County for over 60 years.
All right.
My grandfather, after hitchhiking to Maryland from Florida without a penny to his name, started as a dairy farmer near Laurel, and we now have investments in Hyattsville, Lanham, New Carrollton, Largo, Montpelier, Beltsville, Greenbelt, Suitland, Capitol Heights, and of course Laurel. But until this project, we had never ventured into Bowie. When we bought the Bowie Marketplace, we were really excited by the asset fundamentals. But we envisioned that this could potentially be a long hold period prior to development. Our family's approach to business is multi-generational, and we felt this is a property that would certainly one day be a great redevelopment opportunity. After we acquired it, however, we met with the City of Bowie representatives, and they said, we want this to happen now. This place is a debilitated eyesore. We don't want to wait, and the community doesn't want to wait. So we told them about the hurdles to redevelopment. Number one, we have existing tenants that effectively control the property for long periods of time that would need to be bought out at very high prices. We knew roughly the costs because the prior owner had tried to do so. Number two, to accommodate pad sites and hopefully entitle the rear for residential, we would need a subdivision, which the site doesn't have and which could take years. And number three, and by far most importantly, the site doesn't have an anchor. A retail redevelopment without an anchor isn't going to happen. And that anchor that was here moved out. But they saw past all of that. They said they were committed to helping us in any way they could to make this happen now. And they knew that their partners at Prince George's County felt the same way. So we embarked on a very difficult journey with these many obstacles to overcome. We began negotiating costly buyouts of existing tenants that had long-term leaseholds like Rite Aid. And we approached a major grocery store with a strong presence in the county and put together a deal that fell through at the last minute when the grocer backed out after they were acquired. We then approached Harris Teeter, which at the time had not a single location in the county, although they recently opened their first in Laurel, and which is one of the most coveted anchor retailers in the region. we, the county and the city, realized that it would be very difficult to convince HT to commit here, and it was. But that if we were successful, we would not only anchor Bowie Marketplace with the highest quality grocer, but we would also be setting the stage for HT to be successful in the county and thereafter to potentially expand throughout Prince George's County. Simultaneously negotiating buyouts, a very difficult lease with Harris Teeter, and working with the city and Park and Planning to expedite a subdivision, the process took many twists and turns, ups and downs, and I can say that without the city's and county's support and assistance, it never would have been possible. They did exactly what they said they were going to do. Monetary assistance to cover some of the buyout costs and costs associated with successfully landing Harris Teeter, supporting our efforts and helping us expedite this process in every other way possible. Throughout the process, one of the things that has kept the excitement and passion up is hearing from the many, many community members how fondly they remember the heyday of this center. I have a sign out front with my name and number on it, goes directly to my desk, and lots of people call me. And the common theme was that this place was a gathering place, a place of community, a place where families and children came to shop, to eat, to socialize, how they remember the turtle that sat in the mall that the kids would play on, how this place meant so much for so many people and how folks wanted it to come back to life. We are so excited to be a part of that revitalization. So in closing, I want to publicly thank both Mayor Robinson and County Executive Baker, and in particular, specific staff members John Henry King, Joe Minard, and David Deutsch at the city, and David Iannucci at the county, for their tireless, and I mean tireless, efforts to help make this happen. I could tell you stories about how we were visiting my brother-in-law in LA, and I was supposed to be on vacation, and the deal was falling through, and it's 11 o'clock at night, and I'm on the phone with David at the county trying to figure out how to make this come back to life. We're on the phone with John or Joe to figure out how to make the site plan work. So much tireless effort. This has been, in our opinion, an absolutely sterling example of public-private partnership. We faced major challenges to get this off the ground that we could not have overcome without the support of the county and the city. And the county and the city will reap an incredible return on investment in increased tax base, revitalization for the community, and the process of expanding Harris Teeter throughout this great county. We are looking forward to breaking ground early this summer and to a bright future together. Thank you.
So now we go home or what?
If there's any
Now it's the
questions, we're
opportunity
happy
for the
to.
press to talk with you one-on-one and for you to meet and mingle with the folks that are here.
Wonderful, thank you.
First question, what's the capital of Florida? The fire chief knew. Well, on behalf of all of us, I want to thank you for coming today. Feel free to wander through this glorious building. Take some nostalgic thoughts about it, because next time you come, it won't be here. And we will be so happy about that. Thank you guys very much.